Hi, this is going to be a brush pen demo for Pentel's Creator Collective. The pen that I'm going to be using is the Pentel Pigment brush pen, and this is my favorite pen of all time. I think I've been using this for almost a decade now. And the reason I love these pens so much is because it lets you adjust everything about your line work. It has a very flexible brush, which means it responds well to pen pressure. This just means if you press down harder, you get a heavier line weight, and if you go lighter, you can get these really fine strokes. It does take a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get used to it, you don't have to adjust your line weight manually, so it really speeds up the entire drawing process. And when you open this pen, you're going to want to remove the red ring that comes with it. It just keeps the ink from coming out, and you can do that by turning the body clockwise. This pen has an inkwell, and that means you can control how much ink goes in the pen, and you can control the opacity of your lines. I usually like to keep two pens on me, one that is a little bit more dried out so it has more grain or texture, and the other one that's a little bit more saturated. And if it's your first time using a brush pen, I actually recommend you try writing with it before you draw. It doesn't have to look pretty, just write comfortably as you usually do. You already have a tempo and a typeface that you're used to, right? So it's a good way to practice with a new pen. And imagine we're zooming in really close to this letter, and we can see that these individual lines are actually shapes as well. You're going to notice that the head of the line is a little bit more flared out, and as we pick up the line, it tapers out. So we can play with the shape as we draw, and as we apply more or less pressure, we create different shapes, and then we can play with how these shapes are arranged together in our drawing. Okay, next exercise. Let's make some thumbnails. And this in itself can be really good, just practicing drawing vertical and horizontal lines and trying to keep the pen steady. In these thumbnails, I'm going to practice different kinds of hatching and mark making, varying up the frequency and the direction that I'm working in so that I can just get comfortable using this pen. And next I'm going to practice drawing some basic shapes with this pen. And this is going to be a little bit more difficult because these are sitting in a 3D space or in perspective. And whenever we have to draw anything in perspective, it asks us for a little bit more precision. And you're going to notice that you have to move your pen at a different speed to get cleaner lines. And I'm just going to fill the rest of this page with more doodles of basic forms. Alright, and last exercise, let's draw something from observation. So I'm going to draw this guy up here. And this subject is a little bit different from the basic forms that we just looked at, right? It is organic, there's texture, it has a face. So there's going to be different things to consider with different kinds of subjects. So when you're getting to know a new tool or a new medium, I really encourage you to draw as much as you can from direct observation, vary up the kinds of subjects that you're looking at, think of the properties, the materials, and you can also think about varying up the duration of your sketching. So maybe sometimes you're sketching for 5 or 10 minutes, and other times you spend a full hour on a subject. Alright, that's about it. I'll be answering any questions over on the Pentel Creator Collective app, so come hang out. And thank you, Pentel. Alright, bye.